Well, this is Isaac David Brigmond, and this is basically, whether it be long or short, the Isaac David Brigmond show for Saturday, the 20, not 20, it's September the 17th, 2016. So it's 6:28 a.m. Saturday, September the 17th, 2016. Anyway, I'm a fan of the indoors and the outdoors, but I do believe that you have to be outside some in order to enjoy life. And I believe that a lot of your technology can be adapted to the nature because you can take your cell phones with you, but don't rely on your cell phones all the time if you're outdoors for leisure purposes because you don't want to sit there and say that the outdoors was meant to be in it, but not about it. Because if you do that, you're going to find yourself, not enjoying yourself. So I say, I don't say fully immerse yourself in the world and don't enjoy what's around you and don't leave technology alone. But I do believe if you live off of just the world, you could make it. But if you're someone like myself, it'd be kind of hard if you've lived off of both Mother Nature and technology together. You kind of would miss one without the other. And I do believe that if there was a program out there, which I think there is, you just got to know where to go, where you could live with Amish people for so long, like maybe a weekend or so. I believe that you would respect what you got better because not only would you understand God better, but you'd also understand what we take for granted. We get all these privileges in this world to basically enjoy and to do things with, and then we take it for granted because these are people that live with no power. Even if they had electricity, it was kerosene electricity, which means it's not electric electricity. It's not. I guess another way of putting it was power. They don't have electric power. They have kerosene power, and there's a lot of people smart enough to make equipment that runs off of gas or runs off of kerosene. And you say that's amazing to think that there are people in this world that people like you or me take for granted, and we spend all this hundreds and thousands of dollars trying to learn how to put motors together and how to put parts together, and there are people that probably don't spend a lot of money and probably do, but they are trying to learn how to manufacture things to where they run off of manpower, horsepower, and I mean the original horsepower, not the horsepower we say today. We talk about the original, and it's amazing to think that those people's educations, those higher learnings that they have, it's not to do with let's learn how to make the bigger equipment with the bigger motor and all. I mean, they may have a motor in their machinery, but it's a manual motor. And you say, so you're trying to tell me there's people that spend their money and their time to learn how to use equipment manually? Yep. I have heard of Amish people using manual harvesters. They took a regular John Deere harvester and turned it into a manual harvester. And I thought, that's interesting, to think that their mechanical engineering is all about trying to make it manual. And I'm thinking, that's cool. If I could learn to make a car manual, I would market it as an alternative to the motor cars and trucks. It may not go so well, but it might save you some trouble in the long run when you are in a position where when the regular automobiles let you down, this manual thing may not. And I don't see a problem with it. And I've been trying for the longest time to get a hold of a trike bicycle, the adult kind. But I've been having a hard time. I'd find them, and they'd be like 200 and something dollars and stuff. And it's like, why can't you just find one that was reasonable price and stick with that deal and run with it? If I found one that would be what I wanted, I would I'd take it. And I'd also love to know this world wasn't so narrow minded, so stupid minded as you want to say, to where God said that He gave you the tips and the tools and the abilities to do things mechanically. And He said one mechanical way was manual power and the other mechanical way was motors and machines. And see, and then see what bothers me about it is that we live in a world where it's so narrow minded or stupid minded, as I said, to where they don't accept the manual transportation. They think that it's toys and they think it's not anything, fun. Because it don't have a motor, it won't be fun. When they don't realize that it can be fun even with or without a motor. And we got to stop this mentality that says that we have to have a motor just to have fun. I mean, okay, you want a motor? What's a heart and a brain? What's legs? If you have a heart and a brain and some legs, go for it. I mean, it helps you out in the long run. I mean, and whether you have 2 wheels or 4, and even 4 wheels can give you an exercise. But please, why can't the world put itself out there on the level of, hey, if you got a way to get around, then we'll honor that and we'll put places out there for you to go. I don't see where the problem is with that. But see, we've been such a sheltered life or a crazy life where we just say we don't want to recognize the foot people, the bicycle people. We don't want to honor every type of person there is and have a way for them to travel safely from one place to another without getting run over or stomped on or trampled on by the people that just don't really give a care. So you got you a limousine, so you got you a bus, so you got you a big fancy truck or car. So you do. Well, that don't make you have the right to run the bicyclist over. He's on the side of the road, you target him or he got in the road for some reason and you want to run him over. I mean, look, there ought to be laws out there that say that if you got 4 wheels or 2, that you have a way to get around safely on the road without people wanting to run you over. I mean, if I'd have run the world, I would have said, okay, every country in this world has to have laws that say that you have to make allowances for the bicyclists, the runners, the walkers, and the cars and trucks. And I would do it. I would make rules that say you got to worry about it. And I'm saying that because I believe in this stuff. I love you people. And I know that there's a lot of folks that could misunderstand what I said and make it look like I said I was gay when I didn't say that. I'm just saying that I'm a straight guy, but I do love everybody the way Jesus does. And I'll tell you something. If Jesus had a bicycle, or if Jesus had a car or a truck, or if he walked on foot or had a motorcycle, y'all give him more respect than you would me. Well, actually, some of y'all wouldn't. Some of y'all would have thought he was a bunch of mess. And I would have had to look at y'all like y'all are stupid. When I say stupid, I'm not talking about man's definition of stupid. I mean biblical stupid. Because you don't understand it. If God and Jesus was on earth right now, there'd be more people giving them respect for whatever they were doing than you do me for trying to do the same thing. So I want to ride a trike bicycle for adults. or as they say, adult trike bicycle. So I want to possibly live in a tiny house one day. So I want to run a church one day. So I want to do these things. That don't make me a bad person. It don't mean that I'm weak. It just means that maybe I'm trying to live modestly. But to live modestly in today's world, you about have to be rich. And that's a crazy thing to think of. And I don't want y'all to think I'm a dummy, but I do think it's ridiculous when you say to yourselves, I'm better than you, and I look at you like, no, you're not. You just think you are because you live in a society where it's okay to say that. And we need to live in a world where we say, look, we love God, we love Jesus, and we let the simple man live his simple life because he's got a plan, and he might show you that his plan is a little better, not better than your plan, but better than living just alone on technology or just alone on, you know, I mean, another thing I've got going on, you may not understand what it is I'm a part time vegetarian, which means that I do eat vegetables and I do eat meat. But I could go a whole week without meat. I could go a whole day without meat. But at some point in my life, I'm going to eat meat. But I'm probably going to eat more vegetables than I have eat meat because of the fact that that's the way I am. You could have gave me one of those nice. It don't matter if you made it at home or if you bought it at a restaurant or something. You could have gave me just a salad, a green lettuce salad, would have been all right with me. Or you could have gave me one of those green garden type salads that had like maybe chicken salad mixed in it or tuna salad. Cause I recently had a restaurant style salad one day, and it consisted of uh, greens like maybe spinach or lettuce, and it had olives like black olives and different vegetables in it. But it also had tuna salad mixed in with it, and it had salad dressing on it. And when you stir all that up and ate it, it was good. I mean, I had really chowed down on it. It was delicious. And that was good. See, that was eating a protein style meat that was good for you, but you also had your vegetables along with it. And I'm saying for your vitamins, food that have things in it you need would be things like fish, chicken, and like I guess you could say aquatic food, poultry food, uh, beef, uh, things that are edible that are meat with protein in it, and vegetables and plants that you can eat that have vitamins and minerals in them too. I mean, see, you got to learn to. I mean, I even like deer meat, which I think a lot of y'all might think that's sick because you might say you're eating Bambi. I know, and I like things like chicken livers and gizzards. But what I'm saying is, I'm not saying I don't eat meat. I'm just saying that I don't have this fit where I believe that you have to always have meat in your meals. You could eat vegetarian once in a while and still be happy because, or as they say, part-time vegetarian. And a part-time vegetarian lives a pretty healthy life because they don't eat as much meat as they do plants. So, so I'm a part-time vegetarian. So I want to be preaching in a church. So I want to live in a tiny house and have a adult trike bicycle. So what? That don't make me less of a person. It means maybe I have a plan where I can live with technology cheaply because smaller spaces and an actual church and an actual trike bicycle, you could, okay. I'm not abandoning cars and trucks altogether. I believe in them, but I also believe you need to have some kind of way of getting around where you don't have to depend only on a car truck. And I wish the world lived better than it does so that we don't have to be scared to go outside all over the world with a bicycle, because a lot of us could do it. We just too scared to because we're afraid we'll get picked up by law or be picked up by criminals or whatever. And now if you could be a bicycle hippie for God, I'd say go for it. You know, whether you be a leisure time guy or girl, or either a SSI disability guy or girl, go for it if you got time, to do this stuff. I mean, find out ways you can. And I love to watch these tiny house videos, and I love to look up on the internet about sales for adult trike bicycles and, equipment that I'd like to have. I wouldn't mind right now having a good setup right now. I didn't even know that I had me a miniature amp with me one time until I was wanting an amp so I could hook a microphone to it and do some speaking at times. And come to find out, this little Bluetooth speaker I had, when I attached a microphone to it, I had an amp, but it wasn't that loud. So I figured I need to work on that, and if I get that going right, telling. But my point is, don't put things down. Don't knock it till you've understood what's going on in life, because once you understand it, you'll say, okay, now I get it. I love you people, but y'all got to stop all this naysaying on the color thing, naysaying on the simplicity thing. Because of you naysayers on the simplicity thing, it makes it hard for those that accept it to live that way, because you have to spend a lot of money to live small. If somebody told me right now, here's you a little building, now you do what you want to do with it, I'd do it. I'd live in it. Or, depending on what it's made of and what it's for. But that's my life, and that's how I want to live. I don't feel comfortable any other way. I mean, even if it's just a storefront. And I want to know, is there laws out there that say you can't live in a storefront building? Like, does a storefront building have to have a business in it? I mean, if you can live in an old storefront building, I would do it one day. If I had the time and money and able to pay